Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new series of Transport Fever. You're watching Off the Rails. Okay, so let's have a look at the map then. As you can see, it's a small map I've made using Photoshop. I will do a separate tutorial on that a little later on. There's only 7 towns on this map and a lot of gaps in between. I do have plans though. I've got some ideas in mind and some of the things will develop later on as we get through the game. There will be various things. There'll be villages and farming communities in between the cities, and I'm going to do my best to control the AI as much as that is possible. As with this game, those of you who play it know how difficult it can be. Even just try to get tracks level. Yes, it can be awkward, but I do love it. If you've watched some of my scenic videos, you'll already have an idea of the kind of things that I like to make and the amount of detail that I like to go into. There'll be lots and lots of detail. I'll be doing time-lapse videos through most of it, running through pretty quickly so that you're not sat here watching endless hours of me just placing bits and pieces, as that can be rather boring. It's fun to do though. Okay, so we're going to start building. We'll just get to the end of this little video and we shall start a time lapse, and then I'll go jump into the game and explain to you what I've been doing. Phew, right, glad that's over with. Yeah, there's a lot of work involved in that. Right, let's show you what I've done. Okay, so this is the map. Excuse me. As you can see, the beaches. These are not finished yet. I've got a lot more work to do on these. I did kind of rush these in a bit. They do take a lot of painting. The mod is called Placeable Ground Textures. There's 3 different shades. You can't really see them that well. I don't know how much you can see this, but there's a definite pattern in here, and it's still a little bit patchy around here as well. I'm going to finish these off. I'm going to do a lot more work on these beaches yet, make them look neater, tidier. There'll be things adding around the edges. I need to put a coastal road in here, so then later on we can have some caravan parks and make this into a seaside resort. Later. Caravans are a little bit early yet, we're still in 1850. We haven't even got any trains on the go. We will do soon though. You'll have to excuse me, I'm full of a cold today. But we'll carry on. Anyway, this is the main town. I built a station here. I built a little park around. These are pedestrian footpaths. Cars can't go down here. People can though. But in order to get people down here, I'll have to put some people magnets in. Otherwise they won't use them. Yeah, sometimes if they need to get from one place to another, maybe you might get the odd person walking down there. These are placeholders, and you can see some sticks sticking out the ground here. I'll show you which mod these are. This is this one. This is part of a mod pack. Now, it's from a guy called Joe Fried, or Joe Fried. You can get all sorts of things from him, or you can get everything in one pack. So I got everything in one pack. It's great, although it does give you a lot of options, especially on the roads. Yeah, we have a lot of roads and streets, basically. We haven't even got to the roads yet. There's the roads, there's some fences, and there's the country roads. Yes, loads. Way too many. Anyway, sorry, had to pause there. Dogs barking. Right, anyway, where was we? Yes, this mod pack. These ones here, these first 2, it's written in German, but it's a collision object. It's quite understandable. It puts an object in that the AI can't build through. It will collide with. These ones are surface ones, and you can alter the height of them so that they stick out. Nice ugly green wall there. And these ones are underground. So when you place one, you can't actually see it. But it's there, and you can delete it, which is good. The longer ones, however, have a habit of sticking out, especially when the ground's uneven. Well, if the ground's uneven. So I tend to use the shorter ones, and I put a lot of them in around the place. I haven't done so here, I've just put some of the longer ones in. The reason being is because I just want to reserve this area so that the AI can't actually build in here. Now, the train track here is going to stop it spreading that way, hopefully, although they probably will start building up this way. The main concentration is going to be around the station, so it's going to come out this way and it's going to start coming down this way. I'll explain the route to you in a minute. It's complicated. Now, same here, this one's going to spread up this way and this way, so it's going to start heading towards that. So eventually these two should merge and we should have a full growth in here, hopefully. And the same going this way. This is going to be where my depot yard is. I'm going to extend all this and put sidings in. If you've watched my scenic videos, you will have seen my depot, and I stick loads of little carriages and things on the unused bits of track. Give lots of extra bits of track, and then put some walls around it, make it look like an enclosed yard. I think the goods depots are going to go here. We need one to go this way to access to this farm. Probably take another one out to this farm here as well. Excuse me. Maybe put a food production plant in here. I've only placed 2 farms. I've not placed any other industries. I have placed the towns, obviously, and I've just given them random names. They don't actually mean anything. I don't think they're anywhere real. They just sound like towns. I'll probably put more thought into that next map. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I've got industries open here. This you can do by dogs are going crazy at somewhere. I didn't want you to be listening to them do barking. Okay, anyway, industries, yes. If you enter debugging mode from the main menu as you load up the game, in the settings, you will be able to place industries. You can put them where you want, which is handy, especially when you're building a map like this. I didn't like the way that the AI generated the maps. I really didn't like it. There was just industries everywhere, towns in all sorts of locations. I wasn't too keen on the maps. That's why I started making my own. It took me a while to learn how to do it. I've used various methods, and I just made a simple one for this. Didn't go into too much detail. I've used some mods here: clean cliffs and snow mountains. The snow mountains will give you white tops over a certain height, although you do tend to get a sort of straight line edge on them. I have got the placeable ground textures, which is this, and that's got snow in it as well, so I may just sort of expand some of these and make it look a bit more natural later on, because from low down they do tend to look like a straight line. Some of them do anyway. Also, clean cliffs, yeah, that stops you getting rocks everywhere and loads of shadows and things. And all them rocks that it usually produces, millions and millions of them, they affect the frame rate as well later on in the game. Right, the castle, yay. This was fun. Oh, getting these pieces lined up is hard work, especially the walls. I had to use some at various heights. You join them together, you can just see a little bit. You can see there where they're not quite matched up. But gosh, if you play with this mod, you'll realise they don't always match up very easily. And that one's the wrong way round. Oops, and that one is. Oh yeah. Okay, we'll sort that out later. Again, there's some footpaths in here. I've not put any blockers in this one because the AI is not going to build here. But I am. I've got a plan for this for later on. We'll talk about that later though. Yes. So, more beaches to sort out. I'm going to get some trains running. But let's have a look at the route. Now, this is rather complicated. I've done this. I drew this out on paper first so that I could figure this out. Now, if I follow my bit of paper, this should work. So we're going to start here and we're going to go to here, over to here, back to here, to there, to there, to here, here, there, 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 and there. Now that's a complete route in one direction. Now if I come, where are we up to on here now? Come back to here, then we go this way, round this way, back to here, out this way again, back to here, 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 oops, here, and there. Ha! It works. Excellent. Right. All 8 platforms. One route. Every station going in both directions. Yes. Yeah, it works. Perfect. Right. Okay, so it's one route and it covers everything in both directions, and the train doesn't have to turn around at all. I don't like the fact that the trains just flip around in the station. It doesn't look right. I really don't like it on the videos. So no trains ever have to turn around. They've all got individual tracks, so all 8 tracks in the main station being used. Now, this is doubled up, this middle bit, but this is going to get a lot of traffic. As the towns build up and get busier and busier and busier, they will be used a lot. Now, it does make more sense to do them individually if you're playing the game with... I haven't got the costs on, I've got the costs turned off at the moment. And the reason being so is because I'm having to do a lot of landscaping. It costs an absolute fortune if you've got the money on. And you just won't be able to do the way I build the towns up and everything. You won't be able to do it if I had the money on. So I have got the costs off. I will turn them on though at some point once we get the game going. Which, now that we've got the route set up, we can have some trains. Yeah, let's go buy some trains. Here's another mod. I love the Great Western steam trains. I'm not a train fanatic. I'm not an expert in any means at all. I don't really know a great deal about trains. However, I love steam trains. I grew up as a child spending a lot of time in Wales where they've got the old steam trains and the narrow gauges and things, and it's just an iconic thing for me. I love train sets and things like that. I don't have one. I'm not a nerd. I'm not a geek with it. I certainly don't have a notepad and go to train stations writing numbers down or anything. It is not my thing at all. Just bear with me 1 second. One of my dogs wants out. Yes, my dogs will be interrupting me quite a lot. They always do. Right, anyway, GWRs, Great Western Railway. I really like these trains for a couple of reasons. Well, I like them. They're a steam train. I always like steam trains. The one you get with the game, I've got this in miles an hour. It does 25 miles an hour or 40 kilometres per hour. The GWR does 37 miles per hour or 60 kilometres per hour. Not very quick, yeah, I know, but it's better than that one. Much better. And it makes a lot of difference in the early game, especially when you've got the costs on, which I haven't at the moment because I'm cheating a little bit. It's a mod. I'm using lots of mods. Let's buy some trains. There we go. 3, 4, 4. There are a couple of inclines on this map. Very, very slight ones. They're not very strong, but this train will struggle on an incline. It's not powerful at all. Now I've got 2 depots, so we're going to send them in both directions. There go the dogs. Sorry about that. Let's get a few more trains. Right, 1, 2, 3, 5 on each direction. Yeah, that's a good start. Right, we paused, aren't we? Yeah. So you go that way. Let's get him open. Set you on line 1. There we go. Now, a little tip here. If you enter the cockpit and then press play, you can drive out of the station. Oh, we got the wrong train. I wanted to show that coming out of the depot then. This is the second reason why I really like this one as well, the camera position. Normally you're on the front of the train, you're just looking forward. On this one you've got the train in front of you, so it looks great. Now, I don't know about bumps. I don't think I've got any, because I think I've done everything perfectly level, all the crossings. If you don't want bumps, you have to be on the flat. If you're on a slope and you try and pull a piece of track off, you're going to get bumps. You're going to get all sorts, and it looks awful when your trains go over them. I really, really don't like it when it does that. Anyway, I've got another mod on here which is power-based steam. This reduces the smoke that comes out of them, as you'll know if you play the game. The smoke gets everywhere and you can't see anything. Okay, let's jump out of this train now. Let's have a look where the others are going. Are we on our way? He's on our way. There we go. Yeah, let's have a look at this one now. So there we go. Little Great Western, carry 24 people. Looking for aliens. So we'll have a look up here. I've done another park again. This is full of blockers, again, the underground ones. The reason is basically I just don't want the town to grow this way. I want the town to grow this way, past the station. This farm here will also block off the AI from growing. So I'm going to build out from here and make like a farming community, a village type scene around here. I'm going to put the food production plant in here, a station here, and then make a little loop, and again do another loop around that way somewhere. This side's going to be the industrial area. Bit quarry here, or maybe over this side. Maybe some mines and things up in the mountains, maybe oil or something, don't know yet. I haven't planned the industrial area out completely. I've got an idea in mind. I want to do much bigger than what I had on the previous map. That was just a test run really, just to see how it looked and see how they went together. It's a little bit early for industrial stuff anyway, so we'll start with the farms, get a bit of food on the go, get them going out to these 3 places here, then maybe a bit up here. Later on we will get all the goods, all the production facilities, everything going, and we'll have them coming out to these towns as well. Maybe have something down here, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a forest down here that can pick up logs. Maybe come to a logging camp down here somewhere where they can produce the wood, take it into the industrial area, get goods and tools and things, come back, drop them off in the town, pick up the wood, do it all again. I'm going to try and make the industrial routes so that they've got cargo in between every stop. Again, like I said though, I haven't planned it out totally. There's another mod I'm looking at as well, which is that new industries mod. Do I want to use it? I don't know. It is known to crash the game and cause problems and things, but it gives you loads more industries, and I could really fill this whole area up. Make this the grimy part of the map. Lots of smog. Lots of smoke everywhere. Lots of buildings and mines and all sorts of things. Workers. You know, if they want to escape for the weekend, they can jump on a train and go down to the beach. Whee! Maybe even get a boat out from here. I'm thinking of putting a boat up here as well. Maybe a little passenger service over to here. That'll come later though. Like I said, I'll work on that later. That's going to be an overgrown castle for a few years yet. Still a little bit early for having major tourism. I think the industry comes first. We're going to start building. So if you think, well, he's already built the train line, what else is there to do? Yeah, we need to build the industry train lines. We need to get all the goods coming in. And as the towns start to grow, we'll start to add to them. We'll add things in a realistic kind of time frame. You know, I don't want to add things too modern too early. We're not going to get too far into the modern era anyway, because my computer just won't handle it. Hence the small map. With the level of detail I go into, my frame rate will crash by the mid to late 1900s, no doubt about it. And it gets to a point where I won't be able to record that great video, so we won't be getting into futuristic stuff, we won't be getting into really modern stuff. Besides the fact, I like steam trains. I'm not really keen on diesels and electrics and things. And a lot of the mods that are available are all really modern stuff. I would like some more older stuff, especially buildings. And especially buildings that obstruct the AI, because a lot of the buildings, when you place them in, the AI will build over the top of them. I'll go into using them mods a lot more as we go through. As you can see, there's all sorts in here. These are the people magnets. You can put a natural one. You can set it to residential, commercial, industrial. You can have up to 500 people a month to visit. If you put them too far away from anything, people won't go to them. So people do need access. You need to be able to get to them. Yeah, there's absolutely loads of stuff in here. Another one of the mods. The little level crossings. I love these. These are great. These open and close as the trains come in and out. The only thing is, if you stick them in a really busy area, you're likely to get traffic queuing in after 1920 or whenever they start. If there's a traffic jam and these close, the trains will just go straight through the traffic. Chaos, carnage, yay, we like it. Right, so that's the map. That's what I've done so far. Not exactly sure what I've got planned for the next episode. If you've got any ideas, anybody who's watching this, stick them in the comments. I think we're going to make a start on the industry. Maybe get this first farm and food production up and running, and then we can start building a little town in the middle here. What that'll do as well is block off a good section of this area. Once we start putting the industry in this side, I'll be able to block off a good section of there, which means that the AI can only grow down this way. So we'll end up with a big sort of sprawling merged cities, which will be great. Yeah, I've stuck these over here as well. These are the same as the other ones. Just stop the AI from building. I want to put something on here, probably a church or something. It's raised up. It's overlooking the trains. It'll be a nice view when you coming this way or coming that way. Oh yeah, and that bridge. That little semicircle bridge I built. It looked great. I loved it. It was daft, I know. But it was, excuse me, it was just taking up too much room, and there was not a lot to build around it. And, you know, it was totally impractical, like some of the stuff I built. Yeah, we've got some blockers in here as well, you see. This stops the AI from building right next to the bridges because it looks awful. The AI will stick a building there, you know, and one there, and one here. And then you end up with this great big horrible cliff underneath next to your track, and right up to your track sometimes, and sometimes even your trains clip through it. I really don't like that. So we block off the bridges to a certain point. I'll let them build up here, but once the bridge starts, no, you can't build on the bridge. You know, again, it's the same here. I've blocked off all these. I'm not sure about these roads yet. I might change them a little bit. We will have a road going all the way through, a big road, and one going all the way across. That'll help alleviate some of the traffic problems, because traffic does get bad in this game as well. Right, so there we have it. We have trains. We can ride them as well. That'll do for this time. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you soon for another edition. Thanks very much. This is Off the Rails.